First alert, safety dust now, grills and campfires, a sign of the season, but fire and safety officials hope that you keep some things in mind. Checking in with Aisha, good morning.
Good morning, Tammy. We all love that sizzle on the grill, and while some of these things might sound like common sense, and roughly one of every fire grills have they've been not clean. So that's according to the National Fire Protection Association. Want to make sure those are clean. Ready Wisconsin and Green Bay Metro Fire Department have some life-saving reminders for you on that note. So first and foremost, keeping them clear and clean, so important. Never grill on a deck, porch, or near structures. Keep a 3-foot zone around the grill and clear of people and flammable materials. Keep pets away too. When you're finished, don't forget to turn off the gas or make sure coals have cooled before disposing them. Never, as far as other fires go, never leave those unattended. Whether it's a campfire, grill, or bonfire, always have responsible adult watching at all times. Fully extinguish those fires before leaving. Douse campfires and coals with water. Stir and repeat until cold to the touch. And last but not least, know your emergency numbers. Always call 911 in case there is one. And parents, good idea to talk to your kids about these fire safety reminders too, Tammy.
All right.